Have you ever known a dog to hate other dogs? It happens more often than you might think, especially when they have bad experiences with them. But this story is not about that. This is the story of a dog who identified himself as a cat. Yes, that's right, a dog who believed he was a cat. You probably don't believe me, but just listen to this. All his life, he did things like chasing mice, climbing curtains, and even meowing. That doesn't sound like a dog at all, does it? But before we start the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you really enjoy our videos, press the bell button so you won't miss any of our new stories. The owner of this weird dog was going insane trying to figure out why her dog was acting like a cat. You probably have no idea how it's even possible for a dog to act like a cat. Well, let us tell you. We bet you won't believe what kind of tricks this little dog knew after watching this video. If you've ever had a pet, you know they can be stubborn sometimes. But this dog took stubbornness to a whole new level. His name was Moose, and he was adopted by a woman named Julie when he was still a puppy. He was a terrier mix, and he looked like a regular dog. However, something about him was off from the very first day she got him. Julie had always wanted a dog, so when she saw a local shelter had a newly found litter of puppies, she immediately went to see them. There were 3 puppies in total, 2 girls and 1 boy. She knew she wanted to adopt the boy, but she didn't know it at the time. It would be hard to understand why. When she brought Moose home, she noticed that instead of barking, he made other sounds. She thought it was because he was still a baby, so she waited for him to grow up. However, the dog's strange behavior only got worse. All dogs love their owners, but Moose seemed to hate his. He would growl at her when she tried to approach him, then run away as fast as he could. When she finally caught him, she felt something was wrong. He bit her hand so hard she almost lost consciousness. At that moment, she understood it wasn't normal behavior for a dog. That's why she decided to take him back to the shelter where she got him. But when she arrived there, the lady working at the front desk said, "You're joking, right?" Julie asked her, "What do you mean?" The woman explained that the dog wasn't actually a stray animal or a newly found puppy. In fact, he had already been adopted once. It turned out that Julie wasn't the first person to take Moose home. Before her, a couple tried to adopt him, but they gave him back just 2 days later. According to the lady at the shelter, they said they couldn't keep him because he acted strangely and didn't seem to want to be a dog. This is when Julie fell in love with Moose. She realized that no matter what was wrong with him, she wanted to take care of him and help him become a better dog. So she adopted him again. Moose had some serious issues, but Julie was sure that with enough love and care, she would be able to fix them. For the first few weeks, though, everything seemed to go wrong. Moose didn't eat much and spent most of his time hiding under the bed. She never forced him to do anything, but one day she sat down next to his bed and started petting him. Slowly but surely, he began to open up. Every day he became a little friendlier than he was the day before. However, he still didn't act like a regular dog. Once he got comfortable with Julie, he began to show her how strange he really was. To begin with, he hated other dogs. Even when they were friendly with him, he would growl and bark until they left. Of course, Julie didn't like it, but she knew it would take time to help him overcome his fear. What she didn't expect, though, was for him to develop a hatred for cats. Cats are natural enemies of dogs, but when Moose met one, he did something completely unexpected. He fell in love with it. At first, it was just a crush, but soon it turned into obsession. He wanted to spend all his time with the cat and would meow like one. Of course, Julie found it odd, but she just thought Moose was a very unusual dog. Then came the incidents that made her realize that something was seriously wrong with him. One day she found him in the garden trying to climb a tree. When she called him, he didn't come. Instead, he barked once and kept trying to climb higher. Dogs can climb trees, but it's not common for them to try. If they see a cat up there, though, they usually try harder. Moose wasn't looking at the cat. He simply wanted to get closer to it. Another time she found him sleeping in the laundry room. He wasn't there by accident, though. He had climbed the stairs on his own to get to the second floor. Dogs usually stick to the ground, but not him. Then there were the mice. Julie saw him catching them and eating them. But that's not the strangest part. After the hunt, he would shake his head as if getting rid of water, just like cats do. When she shared these stories with other people, they all told her the same thing. Her dog was crazy and needed help from a professional. And that's when Julie's furry identity crisis began. She took Moose to the vet for a checkup, but he didn't do well during the examination. When the vet touched him, he tried to bite her hand off. Because of this, the vet couldn't do anything. He gave Julie sedatives to calm him down, but it made him fall into a deep sleep for hours. She couldn't wake him up, which worried her. When he finally woke up, he looked confused and scared. Julie felt horrible for what had happened to him. She wanted to make him feel better, but didn't know how. That's when she had a brilliant idea. She took him to a pet store and bought him some cat food. Then she left the bowl by his bed and went to work. When she came back home, the bowl was empty. But that wasn't the strangest thing. Moose was licking his own fur like a cat. He had also started grooming himself while she wasn't home. From that day on, Julie knew that Moose wasn't a regular dog. He was a cat stuck in a dog's body. But that's a whole other story. Now watch another video about a hairy monster found in a cave. Or have a look at this video instead.